everyone, has your child ever lied to you? And if so, how did you feel about it? Did you feel resentful, offended, frustrated, irritated, maybe worried, maybe asking yourself what I did wrong so my child is not being honest? And how did you respond? Did you say something like, "How could you lie to me?" or "Don't lie to me," or "You better tell me the truth or you will get even into more trouble"? Unfortunately, none of these reactions actually helps our child to become more honest with us. And sometimes it actually works the opposite way. I'm Anastasia Goldick, parent coach and parent consultant, and today I want to show you 3 reasons why kids might lie to us, and we will come up with better ways to respond to these lies if we want our kids to truly and intrinsically be motivated to be honest with us, not because they are afraid of punishment or judgment. And first of all, I want to say that I'm not talking about this early childhood lies, when kids say things that they just wish to be true, that they met a dinosaur outside, or stuff like, "Mommy told me that I can have this candy, just don't go and ask her about it," because it's a different thing. And let me know if you want me to also discuss it with you. But today, I actually want to concentrate on that type of lies where kids intentionally want to hide something from us. Yeah, stuff like, "It wasn't me, I didn't do that," or "I'm going to the library while I actually going to meet my friend." Something like that, more intentional, more conscious. Talking about these 3 groups of reasons why kids might lie to us, I would say that first of them might be pretty obvious to most of us. It's when we are too strict, when we tend to yell, scream, punish, set up consequences, stuff like that. So a child basically understands that if we figure out what happened, they will get into trouble. And the problem is that if we are that type of parent who is very strict, who normally reacts with some kind of yelling, punishment, or consequences to bad behavior or kids' mistakes, because we believe it's the only way to teach them a lesson, this is exactly how we're going to react to their lies. And this is how the bad cycle is getting created. So basically, look what happens. Our child did something wrong, like made a mistake. They're afraid of our reaction or punishment. And this is so normal to be trying to avoid bad reaction or punishment from their parent. So this is what they do. They lie. This is the best, easiest, immature way to avoid punishment, to say it wasn't me. And we as a parents react the same way to their lies. We basically punish them for it. And we think that it will help them to learn not to lie, to be honest, to stop lying to us. But what they actually learned, that they were right about us and about our reaction, and they cannot trust us. And with years, what happens that they learn to lie better and better, so they don't get into trouble. I know that most of the parents who are watching this video will tell me, "Oh, I'm not the type of parent. I'm not too strict. I'm not punishing my child." Actually, the opposite. I'm always inviting them to tell me the truth. I'm so supportive. I'm so understanding. And I know that. And we're going to talk about it a little bit later. But just in case, maybe you will still find yourself in the first group, in the first reason of why kids lie. What can you do about it? And here I remember one day when I was at some seminar, and it was actually a business seminar. I don't even know why the speaker started to talk about it. He said something that actually touched my heart, and I want to share it with you. He said, "When my son, teenager, comes up to me and tells me that he did something wrong, made some mistake, whatever, I never get mad at him and I never punish him for that, just because there is nothing he did or there is nothing he could do that I haven't done when I was a child." And I feel like this perspective really helps us as parents, no matter how strict we are, to be more understanding to our kids. And there is one more thing that I hope will help you look differently at your child's lies in this situation, is that at least they understand they did something wrong. Otherwise, they wouldn't lie to you. And this understanding and this feeling of I made a mistake, this is something that is the best to learn from, not from a fear of punishment. Because if I'm just scared of your reaction, as I learn, as my brain grows, I will find so many ways to do the same things without you being aware of it. We can talk about it more a little bit later. And now I want to move to a second reason, exactly that huge group of parents, beautiful parents, understanding, supportive parents who are like, I don't know why he lied to me, because I've told him so many times that whatever you did, you just can come to me and tell it to me. Just be honest with me and we can figure it out. We will talk it through. We will find a way to fix it, to deal with it. And then how disappointing it is when even after creating this space and feeling of safety and security, as we think, they still lie to us. Why does it happen and what can we do differently? And here's the second reason why they might want to lie. Just because we're so good, we're so nice, and they value our relationship so much, and they're so scared to be bad for us. It's just something, I don't know if you ever had a person in your life who is so good, probably like saint, somebody who you respect so much that you're scared to say things like, I don't know, I got drunk yesterday, or I don't know, whatever it may be for you. So it's just not because you're afraid of his punishment. It's just because you really want to preserve this image of being good for him, to being good person, nice person, smart person. And the thought of actually exposing the truth, it's terrifying. And this is what happens to our kids as well. They really want to be good for us. They want it so bad that the thought of actually telling us that they did something different from what we approve just make them hurt. And they don't want to hurt us. Also, they want to protect us from this disappointment. So another question you might ask yourself, maybe sometimes I sound too judgmental when I speak about other people's mistakes, other people's weaknesses, because our kids listen to us. I might say like, I hate when people, I don't know, smoke. I hate smokers. I think that they're so, it's a weak people, right? Who cannot control their life. And like, I hate whatever kind of addiction, right? And we don't even realize that our child is listening to us. And at the moment, just in case, if they slipped and they tried some cigarettes and tried something with their friends, and they might 100% be sure that they will not be punished, but still, will they want to tell it to us, knowing that we hate people who smoke? This is kind of thing I'm talking about. It's just that we don't realize that we don't give our child a right to make mistakes and still remain good in our eyes, in our, still maintain their image of a good person in our eyes. And this is something we want to work on. How? Here's an example. Every time you find yourself moralizing a lot, talking about other people's mistakes and weaknesses in a very judgmental way, just pause for a second. Look at your child and say, or maybe I'm just being too judgmental. Maybe they just made a mistake and they will figure it out. Or maybe they just don't have enough support, someone who will stand by them and help them to overcome this problem. So just give a little bit more hope to your child that it's not bad forever. And also, if the lies actually happened, if you figured out that your child lied to you, it's the best way to show her that you still believe in them. The worst thing you can say in this case is just like, why did you do that? I trusted you, and now I don't think I can trust you. Oh no, please don't do that. Even if you feel like that, you are a grown up, you have more impulse control. Even if you feel like you want to say something like this in the moment, pause. Say something like, "Oh, yeah, you lied to me. And I guess I know why. You probably were too scared to tell me the truth because you didn't know if I can accept it. And you didn't want to look bad in my eyes. And you didn't want to disappoint me. And I get it. And I think I did the same thing when I was a child. So I understand that. But I still trust you. And I do believe that we will figure it out. I do believe that at some point you will feel safe enough to tell me the truth, and you will know that it will not make me think bad about you or feel bad about you. And why I think this is the better way to react and respond to kids' lives is just because when we say I don't trust you anymore, this is what discourages our kids. This is what, when they have this feeling of there is no hope. My mom already doesn't trust me, so what should I do? I just don't care. She doesn't trust me. Then I'm gonna lie. And it works the opposite way. When we say, I still trust you, this gives them another feeling like, oh, I didn't lose her trust, so I want to prove that she can trust me. This is how it works. This is all about effectiveness. It's simply more effective to believe that our kids are good inside, just because whatever we say, it's like a seed that we plant inside of their mind, inside of their heart. And whether we say you're good or we say you're bad, this is what your child gonna believe in as they go through their life. And if I go through my life believing that I'm good, there is more chance that I will actually be good and doing the right things. And if I believe I'm bad, I will prove it. Trust me, I will find the ways to prove that whatever I believe, whatever my mom told me or my father told me is true. Moving forward, let's talk about the third reason of lies. And I would say that this type of lies might happen probably as early as a child is about 7 years old. And the more they grow, the more chance that this might become a reason of lying to us. I will tell you just a story about one guy. So I spoke to one man, he's about 40 years old now, and he told me one day, he's like, I don't know what it was, but when I was in my early 20s, I would lie to my mom all the time. And it's not my, my personal trait that I lie to everybody for no reason. I'm not that type of person. I usually like to be honest. I want to be honest. But with my mom, and at that particular period of time, it just was something crazy. So let's say I go to a gas station and she calls me and she's like, where are you at? And I would be like, I'm in a grocery store. And then I hang up and I'm just like, why did I do that? Why did I lie to her? Obviously, he was not afraid to be punished for going to a gas station, right? And he was not afraid to look bad in his mom's eyes for going to a gas station. So why did he lie? And the answer to this is that this was an immature way to protect his boundaries. If parents are very controlling, if they do not let their kids have their own space, and kids are immature, so they do not have those skills to set their boundaries, to set their limits. So obviously, in this case, he didn't have to lie. He could have just told her something like, Mom, I think you're calling me too often. And I think that you're trying to control me, that you are checking on me every 5 minutes, where I went, what am I doing? I feel like you don't trust me, or I don't know what's going on, but I just don't like it. It doesn't feel comfortable to me. So please do not call me that often, and do not ask me where I'm at if it's not something important. Let me know if I can help you, right? You can call me, I can help you, I will go, but don't ask me where I'm at because I feel that you're controlling me. Stuff like that. Obviously, he was at that point, he was not able to do that. He didn't know how to healthily, right? How to set boundaries in a healthy way. And immaturity went into a place, and this is what he did. He was just like, I'm in a grocery store. And our kids can do the same thing. Like, it doesn't matter. As I told you, it can happen even with the 7 years old, because this is the age where their individuality is starting to grow, starting to blossom already, and they start feeling that they are a separate person from us and having their own space, doing something that they don't want us to know about. It is okay. It's a sign that they are creating their own, life, personality. And if we're just like, what are you doing there? If we want to know every detail, and if we're trying to control every step, this is what might happen, that they will start to lie to us for no reason. And it's going to be over some small things that do not really matter. Like, you don't have to lie to me about it. And if you see something like that, if you see your child lying to you over small things, not important things, for basically no reason, ask yourself if you respect their boundaries. Because we're so concerned to teach our kids boundaries, to set boundaries, whatever it is, and we forget that they have their own boundaries, and we have to respect that too. It's okay to say something like, you know what, yesterday when I asked you, I don't know, what kind of book you were reading, you told me this. And then accidentally, I figured out that you were reading this book. And then instead of our favorite, stop lying to me, I will always know the truth. Don't you see that every time you lie, I will figure it out? Instead of that, just say something like, you know what? If it is something that is not about your safety, and if it's not really about me or somebody else, if it's your own space, like reading a book, it's okay if you tell me, Mom, I don't want to tell you. I won't tell you just because it's my own book and I really don't want to share this information with you. It's okay if you tell me that, because it's your personal space. And this will help your child to build this healthy ways of protecting their boundaries instead of just immature lying. And what will really make me happy if you take away from this conversation is that whatever reason our kids lie, our job is not to teach them a lesson of why lying is bad. Our job is to create space and to create relationship with our kids where lying would not feel comfortable. And this is the best thing. If your child lied to you, and maybe you believed that is true, or maybe you pretended you believed, or maybe you decided not to show that you know the truth, and let's say it looks like he got away with it. And then in 5 minutes, 5 hours, maybe 5 days, your child comes back to you and says, you know what, Mommy? You know what, Daddy? I have to say something. I actually lied. I don't know why I did it, and I feel so bad about it. And this is something that you should celebrate. This is the best thing that can happen between you and your child in terms of relationship honesty. Because creating a feeling of security that no matter what you did, even if you lied about it, you can still come back and repair it. And our relationship will be safe. It will not affect how I think about you, how I feel about you, what I feel to you. This will ultimately help our child to become a confident person who is brave enough to be honest, who doesn't have to lie to us or to anybody else. Since lying is very typical and very normal for kids for a number of reasons, the way we respond to these lies can make a huge difference. It's either gonna teach our kids that they were right and that they really had a reason to lie to us because they cannot trust us, or it will show them that, look, you don't have to lie to me, because even now when you lied, look at me, I'm still with you. So there is no reason to create walls between us. And if there is something that you feel not comfortable to tell me, it's okay if you just be honest and say it frankly. Mom, Dad, please stop asking me about it. I don't want to talk about it right now. And please don't take it personally. It has nothing to do with respect. It's not that, oh, you lied to me, you don't respect me. It's actually the opposite. They respect you so much that they decided to take a risk and lie to you about something. So at least they can protect the relationship with you. This is because they do care about you and the way you think about them. Because if they didn't care, they would be like, yeah, I did it. What the problem? And that's it. There would be no reason to lie. Thank you for being here today with me. Please subscribe. I'm gonna release a new video every week. And you can actually help me to be more helpful by putting in the comments what exactly you would like me to talk about with you. What exactly would you like to know or understand better about kids, their emotions, their behavior, and how to react better. And I will be super glad to help you with that. See you next time and have a great day.